We ain't in Kansas no more. This is no latex needed, where we keep it uncut, uncensored, and most important of all, undeniably entertaining. This is me, MC Ragoonan, and I got a special guest with me today, my man Dylan Shaffer. Dylan, how you doing today, man?
I'm great, living life.
Uh,
Another day in paradise.
all right, cool. And we got Skittie in the background.
Hey y'all, Skittie and Skittie Writings. I might update my Instagram really soon. Who knows? Let's see. But I'll be the moderator today for today's topic, which is
We're gonna be talking about pro wrestling.
wrestling.
Yeah, we're gonna be talking some wrestling, and Skittie has the topics for us to discuss today. I cannot wait. I am excited to be talking about wrestling with my man Dylan. So, Skittie, when you're ready, hit us with the first topic.
All right, our first burning question off this list here is greatest wrestling factions of all time.
Ooh. All right, because I'd like to be a generous host, you can go ahead and start with what you believe are the greatest wrestling factions of all time.
Greatest wrestling factions. I used to be a huge WWE fan. Growing up, awesome stuff. I feel like this is an obvious answer.
All right, let's hear.
I feel like the clear-cut answer is the D-Generation X.
Really? You think it's D-Generation X?
Just how the 90s, they fucked it up.
Yeah, no, that is true.
Even Part 2 DX, not quite the same, but still funny scenes in the 2000s.
So like the OG D-Generation X?
The OG DX was hands down.
So I want to make sure, when you say the OG DJ, you're talking about China, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, and Rick Rude?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
For me, I honestly think the greatest wrestling faction of all time is a group that I believe D-Generation X would have never been started if it wasn't for this group, the NWO.
That's a good answer. You don't hear it too often.
No, and think about the cultural impact that it had on it. Because look, think about it. You had two guys. It started with Scott Hall and Kevin Nash. They came from the WWE, and then they do this whole thing where they invade WCW, because this was before the internet was big and all this stuff.
Right.
So people were seeing this stuff. It's like, holy shit! It's Razor Ramon and Diesel. Coming to invade our thing. Or
Can
whatever.
we do a shout out to Razor Ramon, the most underrated wrestler?
Yes. No.
Top
absolutely.
10 most underrated. Top 5 most underrated. So shout out.
And I would say top 3, one of the greatest talkers of all time.
Oh, hands down.
Yeah. And it could not have been done without him, because he did such a great job.
Right.
I remember the first episode he showed up in WCW, and he did the whole, you know who I am, but you don't know why I'm here. And just weeks and weeks of building it up. And Nash showed up. And then this was the beauty of it. So I'm going to teach you all back home. And you guys probably didn't know this, but originally the third guy was supposed to be Sting.
He was freaking way.
Really?
I believe it was Eric Bischoff who said, maybe Sting should be the third guy. But Hall and Nash were like, no. It has to be an ex-WWE guy. And they couldn't have picked the bigger guy. They picked Hogan, who, if the stories
crazy.
if the stories are true, Hogan wasn't sure about it, because Hogan had been a hero his whole life, and Hogan clearly likes to be cheered.
Yeah.
But no, when he did the leg drop, and it was like, I watch it to this day. Like when he goes into the ring, he hits the leg drop, and people are like. You can hear the gasp, like, holy
shit. It's iconic, yeah.
Very iconic.
Yeah.
And look, DX is great, but it's like, the best way I can describe DX, and I loved them as a kid too. Like, I love DX. But
they were more like me doing suck it. That's crazy.
They were more like a sophomore class field trip for me.
Okay, what about, this could be an underrated pick. I'm a huge Triple H guy. He's always been my favorite wrestler. I like the heels.
Yeah.
Evolution
is a really good faction. Yeah.
An amazing freaking entrance song.
Mm-hmm.
4 of the biggest heels of all time.
Yeah, and it's great because it's what a faction should do.
Yeah.
Because you got the top guy at the time, Triple H.
Mm-hmm.
You got the senior, who's helping them out, Ric Flair.
One of the best of all time.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
And then you have these 2 young guys. You have Randy Orton and Batista. Randy Orton, third generation wrestler, and still going strong to this day, which I give him a lot of props for. Yeah, and Batista, who, started off pretty in the business. He started off at a pretty late time. He was already I think in his like mid-30s.
Really? Damn, I did not know that.
Yeah. When he started in WWE, he was already like in his mid-30s.
I knew he was a little bit older. I didn't realize he was in his 30s.
Yeah.
Like, what a freaking specimen. Huge,
Oh no,
you know.
monster! My God, yeah. No, and it's,
You know, some people say I have a similar build to him. So, so I just want to put it out there.
Yeah. But like it did so much for them because it's like, yeah. I mean, at one point they held all the gold, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What was it? The World Heavyweight or WWE Championship or World Heavyweight?
The World Heavyweight,
The Tag Team Champions,
and then the Intercontinental.
Yeah.
And then you think about like the dissension, like Randy Orton was the first one to leave. Like they made him the youngest.
What an iconic scene though, when he's up on the shoulders.
Yes,
and then shoulders.
They do the thumbs up and thumbs
Crazy.
down. Which I feel like they kind of rushed that too much.
They probably could. Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah,
I would just like to see it go a little bit longer.
I found out the reason why they made Randy Orton the youngest champion was because, well, the year before, 2 years before that, Brock Lesnar was the youngest WWE champion.
Oh, wow.
And if you remember, in 2004, Brock Lesnar left. They were very petty about it, so they're like, yeah, we'll just make Randy Orton the youngest champion.
Damn, I did not know that.
Oh, yeah.
That old WWE championship was beautiful. The belt?
Oh, yeah. Here's a cool thing about it. One of the side plates actually has the McMahon crest on it.
Oh, that is really cool.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's a beautiful looking belt.
Actually, speaking of championships,
yeah.
What are the best wrestlers to never win a world championship?
To never win a oh man.
Never ever.
Well, the first one that I think of right off the bat is Owen Hart. Like I would say.
Oh
Owen Hart.
fuck, yeah, you're
That's
right.
a good answer.
Yeah, and it's like it's a shame because like in 1994, he won the King of the Ring. That was like probably his best year. He wins the King of the Ring, and the thing is that yeah, he could have held the belt for like a little bit, perhaps, but Brett was on fire, and you want to build someone like that like for a while as champion. So it would not have helped to play hot potato, but Owen I think would have made a great world champion.
I hate to steal an answer, but that's got to be the biggest wrestler to never win a championship.
And the sad thing is, they had two opportunities to do it. They could have done it in '94, and they could have done it in '97 when Brett, the whole screw job thing,
which is a crazy story too.
Oh yeah, no, that's insane. And Owen could have came back. Like they did this thing where Owen came back like a few months after the screw job, and he was like the black card, and he was coming after Vince, and he was coming after Shawn, and they could have had him hold the title, but Shawn, you've probably heard the story.
He probably
Shawn was a pain in the ass. Yeah. Like, oh, I'm not gonna drop it. And then Stone Cold becomes champion, and Stone Cold didn't like Owen Hart either because
I feel like the Stone Cold, that was like a small transition to a new era. It was still 90s, but I feel like that was the start of the Stone Cold, Rock, all that.
Oh yeah, no, they definitely, when Shawn lost to Stone Cold Steve Austin at WrestleMania 14, a whole new era had ushered because Shawn was one of the big guys of the new generation. Austin was the head of the Attitude Era undoubtedly. Right. So, but Owen Hart, I would also say Mr. Perfect.
Mr. Perfect, and probably the best wrestler to never win championship, my boy Hornswoggle. My boy Hornswoggle had a grip.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Talking about Hornswoggle, like
even Eugene won a championship, but not my boy Hornswoggle. That's crazy.
Okay, so let me start off with Hornswoggle. So I remember the first time I saw Hornswoggle, they didn't even give him the name. They just said, "Oh, look, it's that creepy little bastard, this like leprechaun or whatever." And I'm just like, what the hell is this?
That's so funny.
and now that when you listen to what Vince finds funny, Vince thinks midgets are hilarious. Like I could picture Vince like watching like Hornswoggle like run around, and he's like, "Hey, whatever," and Vince is like, "Oh, god damn it, that's good shit."
That's a good impression.
Oh my gosh.
And it's just so weird. Like I feel like they used Hornswoggle for like if they didn't know how to finish a story, they're like, just throw Hornswoggle up there. Like, he was Vince's illegitimate son at one point. Yeah, they do this whole thing where it's like, we're going to find out who Vince's illegitimate son is. It was supposed to be Mr. Kennedy.
Damn, that's a name I have not heard in a while.
Yeah, that's another one who should have been world champion.
Yeah. I think he was maybe once.
In TNA, he was world champion. And he was supposed to be, this is such a fucked up story. In WWE, like, they were very high on him. They saw him as, like, a combination of like The Rock and Stone Cold.
Right, fair.
And he was a great talker. And you remember he won Money in the Bank at WrestleMania 23.
Yes, yeah.
Now the plan was he was gonna cash in on the Undertaker because Taker had gotten injured. He had wrestled Batista in a steel cage match. Then Mark Henry comes out and attacks Undertaker. Boom, cash in, whatever. Then a couple of days before that happens, Mr. Kennedy gets diagnosed with like some kind of injury.
Fuck.
Yeah,
Wow.
and they tell him like, yeah, you're gonna have to take time off. So they ended up giving Edge the briefcase,
Crazy.
and then he goes to a second dog, and they're like, oh no, you'll be fine after a few weeks.
Jeez, yeah.
Yeah, and he never gets another opportunity, and I think that really fucking sucked.
Oh, the cool thing was the microphone coming down.
Oh, that was so cool. Yeah, he'd go like this.
It's like a unique,
Yeah.
Damn.
And he would do like his own intro, Mr. Kennedy!
It's such a great voice, too.
Kennedy! And he still looks great. He still wrestles, to this day.
He needs to make a comeback because he's a good wrestler.
I saw him do an interview recently, and he said, like, yeah, I would love to come back to WWE. Like, he's admitted to his, like, faults and mistakes. I don't know if you've heard the story about how he got fired.
With the whole Randy Orton?
Yeah, that, like, he did, like, he accidentally dropped Randy, like, on his shoulder or something, and Randy was like, fuck!
Yeah, I think he was, like, nursing an injury, and Mr. Kennedy dropped him on that bum shoulder.
Right, yeah. And then Randy went to John and was like, we have to get this guy fired.
Crazy.
Nuts.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Randy Orton, if you're watching, you did this man dirty.
No, I feel like Randy has really matured as a wrestler, like a lot. Like,
oh yeah, he's definitely, I wouldn't say Mount Rushmore, but he's definitely all time. Maybe that second tier.
I would put him maybe top 30, top 25.
Oh, hands down, yes.
Yeah,
definitely.
so
I'd be like top 20,
I'm
maybe
done,
top
bro.
15.
I'd say like maybe 25. Give or take.
Ooh.
But yeah, in terms of other wrestlers who've never won a world championship, Mr. Perfect, Mr. Kennedy, Owen Hart, Jake the Snake Roberts.
Oh, wait, he
that's
really
a
didn't
throwback.
win?
No, he never even won the Intercontinental Championship.
Damn.
I
Yeah.
thought he won at least like once.
No, I
He's
think
like a Hall of Famer too. That's crazy.
he's a Hall of
What
Famer.
the
Great,
fuck?
one of the
I thought he
great.
would have at least won like at least one fucking time, but like
Yeah.
Now here's the
it's
story.
like,
That's crazy.
This is how the story goes. Basically, and not to be like what's the word for it? Like
not to
corny.
like to undermine him.
No, not to be corny, but
Oh.
his career was really snake bit. Like
Mm.
so in like the late 80s, when Hulk Hogan was big and stuff, he was supposed to work a program with Hulk Hogan over the WWE title.
Right.
There's a segment that they aired that apparently like they did a confrontation. Jake hits Hogan with the DDT.
Mhm.
And they thought the fans were gonna boo Jake, but instead they cheered the hell out of him.
Oh wow.
And Hogan was like, "Yeah, brother, that doesn't work for me."
That doesn't
and they pulled the plug on that.
Damn.
And then he had a second opportunity. They told him it was like 91, 92. You're gonna work with Ultimate Warrior. You're gonna get that main event money.
That'd been awesome.
Yeah. And then Warrior gets fired after SummerSlam, and they're like, "Yeah, sorry, we had to fire him."
Crazy. I didn't know that because he's one of the biggest names going back all the way to the 80s.
Yeah, which he had a great. Nobody does a DDT like him to this day.
Crazy stuff. Yeah.
It's a very simple move, and he makes it look effortless.
Yeah. Even his whole character was awesome.
Yeah, no, and let me tell you, people have asked him over the years, like, "Oh, did you really carry that snake everywhere?" He did.
You did, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, I had to learn a lot about snakes and how to take care of them and whatnot, and you know what I mean. That's
Crazy.
a huge fucking snake, man.
I'd be so scared. I'm like deathly afraid of snakes. So seeing a huge freaking whatever type of snake,
Yeah.
it
So
would not be good.
this guy took care of he had a big ass python. At one point, he used to carry a cobra. So I'll tell you a famous story. Did you ever see the segment with him where it was like he tied Macho Man to the ropes and he pulls out a cobra and it? So
yeah.
so before that happened, obviously they're gonna plan it. Well, Macho Man was a paranoid fuck.
Sure, I believe it. With a
And-
snake, I'd be too.
And he was like, "Hey, Snake Man, is that snake devenomized?" And Jake's like, "Of course it's fucking devenomized." And he's like, "Let's prove it. I want that snake to bite you."
Jesus.
And he's like, "You've got to be fucking kidding me." So he, rolled up like his pants or whatever. He had the cobra bite him like on the knee, and he goes, "How do you feel, Snake Man? You getting delusional or whatever?" And Jake's like, getting pretty pissed off. and that's how Macho Man agreed to let the Cobra bite him. But here's the crazier part: the Cobra actually bit him a lot longer than he was supposed to.
Oh, jeez.
Because, as Jake puts it, he's like, when the snake like clamped onto his bicep, it sucked it it's took in like really really sunk its teeth into him.
I'll be yelling, screaming, could not.
And he was trying to like pull it out, and not a lot of people remember this, but Roddy Piper was outside and he was supposed to like help. That he was fucking terrified of snakes.
Yeah, shit, I don't blame him.
He grabs Miss Elizabeth and he goes, "Let's go help him."
Alright, here's my other burning question out of this list here that we have for today. What are y'all's favorite pay-per-views of all time?
Ooh.
It could be any pay-per-view, even like way back when it first fucking started or whatever the fuck.
Oh,
your favorite pay-per-view of all time?
I think I have two.
You have two?
Shit.
Okay.
I think I have two. I believe it was WrestleMania 20 with the triple threat with Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Chris Benoit.
I have that on DVD.
Dude, that's my favorite match of all time.
It is a fantastic match.
So, and then what was it when after the match with Chris Benoit won? Who came out? Was it Rey Mysterio?
It was Eddie Guerrero.
Eddie Guerrero, that's right. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, so, no. That was a great, like, I loved it, like, especially, like, because Chris Benoit goes into that match and he's, like, the underdog. You got Shawn Michaels, you got Triple H. Mm-hmm. This was a time where Triple H never fucking lost.
Yeah. It was the height of his freaking game.
Yeah, no, and I'll tell you a funny story. There was a short period of time I stopped watching wrestling, like, in 2004. And then I started watching it again in 2005, like around the time of WrestleMania 21. And I turned on the TV. It was the Monday before WrestleMania, and I watch it, and I see that Triple H is still champion. I said, "Fuck, this guy's still champion." but all in all, like, yeah, Chris Benoit goes into that like the underdog, and during the match, like even Shawn Michaels and Triple H, as much as they hate each other, like they ganged up on him. Mm-hmm. Double teamed him, and it's great because not only did he win the match, he made Triple H tap out, which Triple H has only tapped out a handful of times.
No, I think it was a lot of people disagree, but I think that was the best match of all time. Definitely top 5.
I think it's the greatest triple threat match of all time. It's up there for me, like as one of the best WrestleMania matches of all time.
Right. I think it was the last match of the night.
It was the main event.
Absolutely crazy.
Yeah, and there's also some really cool matches. Like one of my favorite moments, the whole reason I got that DVD was because that was the return of the Undertaker. Like he went from the biker gimmick, which I was never a big fan.
Really, I loved that biker gimmick.
And I can understand why some people liked it. Like I've had a buddy of mine tell me, like, yeah, man, it was really cool, and like it was just nice to see him be himself, which I get. Right. I do. But
was that the entrance where it was obviously he's walking super slow, but like there's the candles, I don't want to say they're candles, but
the druids holding the thing. Yes. And Paul Bear comes out. And
that was awesome. That's probably one of the best entrances.
That was so cool. And like the way that they did it, like that they hit, like first they turn off the lights, and then you hear just out of nowhere just like, "Oh yes!" And
I've heard that once or twice.
But and he comes out and he's like. There's a cool story that I heard about Paul Bear. Like, they reached out to him. They're like, look, Undertaker's coming back to his former, the dead man gimmick.
Right.
We want you to come back because you're his manager. And Paul Bear gained a lot of weight at the time. And he was like, I don't think I can do it. They actually paid for his bypass surgery so that he could show up at WrestleMania.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. No, like, I know Vince catches a lot of flack, but when he cares about someone, like, he actually helps them out. You know what I mean? But I love that moment where the Undertaker comes out for the first time in like 4 years as like the dead man and stuff. Even with that oversized hat he had.
Yeah. No, he's got to be the best wrestler of all time. WWE at least.
Definitely best character. He was always my favorite when I was a kid.
Definitely Mount Rushmore. If not number 1, definitely on the Mount Rushmore.
Absolutely.
I said Shawn Michaels or Bret Hart.
Shawn's great. I think Shawn is the greatest wrestler of all time.
I could get a lot of a lot of heat for this. This is definitely a hot take. I think Bret Hart. I think is one of the most overrated wrestlers of all time.
Really?
Really? Say
Yes.
more to the camera.
Yeah. I want
I
to.
want to hear this.
Why do you feel that Bret is overrated?
So let me preface: Bret Hart was a little bit before my time, so everything I've seen was just replays.
Okay.
And I don't know, when I think of like iconic wrestlers of that generation, I think of Shawn Michaels. I think of Triple H. I don't think he had a year or two of, oh, he's the top dog. As opposed to all the others, obviously Shawn Michaels, everyone knows. I think everyone else has had like a span of like, oh, that's the guy you need to be.
You know,
I don't think Bret Hart ever had that officially.
Yo, you just blew his mind.
No, like because I'm thinking about it, and like Bret always had a hard time, like and Dylan's right because like I'm looking back on it. So Bret won the WWE title 5 times. So I'm looking back like 1992. The first time he won it was from Ric Flair, and this was at a time where it was like nobody thought he was gonna win the WWE title. It was like at a random house show or whatever, and he was still like proving himself, whatever. 93 comes around, and now he's got to fight Yokozuna at WrestleMania. They drop the title to Yokozuna, who on the same night takes the belt to Hulk Hogan, which that's one of the stupidest decisions ever. So 93, Bret spends like 93 like away from the main event, and they're trying to build Lex Luger as like the next Hulk Hogan. Like they really wanted Luger to be that new Hulk Hogan.
Did not work out too well.
No. The thing is, as much as people may not like Hogan had charisma. Luger
That's true.
was like a fucking stone wall.
Yeah, there's something missing with he can never get to that next level.
And he didn't like he didn't like fans, like he didn't like interacting with fans and stuff. Like he's been very adamant about it. Right. And that doesn't help when you're on the fucking bus and you gotta go from city to city and kiss babies and shit.
Yeah, no, you definitely have to show face a little bit, man. I don't think you would.
So, but like, yeah, Bret had to always like share the spotlight with someone, like whether it was Luger or in '95 when Kevin Nash was like champion for a whole fucking year.
Yeah,
he lost the belt to like a 50-year-old Bob Backlund, which that blows my mind why they did. Oh well, the reason they did that was so that Bret didn't have to drop the belt to Kevin Nash. But yeah, and then '96, then he then Shawn Michaels is on the come up and he loses it. Takes like a whole year off, and Shawn is like firmly the man. Like he's the top of. So hey, I get that.
I still think I'm in the minority. Definitely a hot take.
Yeah, no,
well, it makes sense.
It does make a lot of sense. Like Bret never had like a definitive where it's like you're the guy, except for WrestleMania 10, where when he beat Yokozuna, and then all the wrestlers come on, they hoisted him on their shoulders. That's like the only moment that they were like, yeah, you're the guy.
Yeah. I don't know. I respect. He had a great career. But I don't know. I don't know. I would not put him in my top 20 all time.
Well, you definitely would say Shawn Michaels is better than Bret Hart.
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
100%.
Okay.
Actually, this segues to my next burning question. I'm gonna pause here for suspense. Because I feel like there's only one answer for this topic here. Greatest technical wrestlers of all time.
Greatest technical wrestlers of all time.
So I always liked Kurt Angle. I thought Kurt Angle was amazing. And this is the funny thing about Kurt Angle. He's not the tallest or the biggest guy, but he could take down someone like Brock Lesnar.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I mean.
So that's definitely a solid answer. Top 3 for sure. Chris Benoit. I think he's a great technical wrestler.
That's like the clear answer.
Yeah, just a sad ending, but he was one hell of a wrestler.
No, and to talk about Chris Benoit, it's like, and I don't know, it's hard. Like obviously, you know what happened, but I don't think that should take away from the fact of what an amazing wrestler he was. Like, I can name so many amazing matches that I watched Chris Benoit in, like his ladder match with Chris Jericho at the Royal Rumble, the triple threat match you just mentioned, the year 2000 was just like probably his best year.
You know who's a sleeper pick for this answer or for this question?
Who's that?
Chris Jericho.
Chris Jericho?
Yeah. Chris Jericho. Every little interview I've ever watched with people, working with Chris Jericho, they're like, let me work with him every single day. That's a vacation.
Chris Jericho definitely, like, he brings out the best in people. Like, I feel like he's I guess I would look at Chris Jericho more like a high flyer, but he can do some technical wrestling. Yeah, he's great. And Oh man, he's one of those wrestlers that like, as a baby face, he's you love to cheer for him.
Mhm.
As a heel, you're like, man, I want to fucking slap him.
But that makes it like amazing. If you're a heel and you get that emotion from the fans, it's like, dude, you're doing your job. You're awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will never forget, and this is a very famous story of his, that he was like at a house show or something, and someone was like, go back to Calgary or Montreal or something. He's like, and he goes, I'm from Marietta, you idiot. Yeah, something like that. Oh my god, yeah. No, he's amazing, and like all the like, I remember his debut like in the WWE is one of the greatest debuts of all
Oh
time.
yeah, great song, great entrance.
Yeah, and just
I love
like
it, man.
like that whole countdown thing was so cool,
Mhm.
and his his taunt is just simple. He puts his arms out,
Yeah,
whatever, like that.
but it works. It's effective.
Yeah,
It's
and
effective.
it's really cool. Like when he was in WWE, like let's say, I remember the Royal Rumble 2000 when he was in an Intercontinental Championship match. He goes, "Welcome to Madison Square Garden. It's Jericho," and they go crazy.
Sure. Do you remember his comeback too when he first came back?
Oh
Was it
yeah,
probably like 2008 or so?
that's when he had the really weird short haircut.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was in Fort Lauderdale, actually.
Was it?
It
Oh,
was,
shit.
yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I remember they kind of spoiled it, believe it or not, because
Damn.
remember the WWE magazine?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
the magazine that came out that month had
Is
him
it-
on the cover.
Oh, then, yeah.
I was
So
like,
everyone knew he was coming.
gee, so he's gonna show up at some point.
So I wonder why he's on the cover of the magazine.
yeah. I had that
Interesting.
magazine cover. I'll never forget it.
Hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. He always has like an interesting way of coming back or making a debut, because you remember like they were doing this thing. It was like the Matrix thing. It's like, did you crack the code yet or whatever?
Yeah.
And then it's like,
which is super creative.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I had no idea who it was. Because most smart fans like, oh, it's clearly this guy or whatever. Like
They're
people
wrong
thought
all
it was
the
like
time.
like somebody was gonna debut, and then it was like at the end it was like save us, and then it's like
Range
it
letters,
said
exactly.
Y2J. I was like, it's great.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Kurt Angle that's a good answer too, though. I feel like that's the most complete wrestler.
Yes, I agree.
Huh. Yeah.
Chris
Yeah.
Benoit was complete too, but Kurt Angle, I don't know. He won a gold medal with a broken freaking neck.
Yeah, exactly. And here's the other thing: like Chris Benoit was a great wrestler, but was never really good on the mic.
Yeah.
But Kurt Angle could do like everything. Like Kurt Angle
Mhm.
knew how to be like a serious wrestler. Like when he shaved his head, and he
Right.
was on. We call him Peak Angle now. Like he doesn't like to be called Perk Angle because of all the drugs he was on, in TNA. But he was a
Mhm.
monster. But even before then, like goofy Kurt Angle, like
Right.
when he imitated Shawn Michaels.
That was fun. Do you remember there's a scene where he had like a little cowboy hat on?
Yeah, and like because he wanted to like impress Vince McMahon. He's like, "Hey, what about my hat, guys? Yippee ki
With a bandana, he's trying to be like Undertaker.
Oh yeah, he's like, Angle, come on, let's go. He's like, what? All right. He goes, you're an American badass. I'm an Olympic gold medal ass. Booker T, Stone Cold are a horse's ass.
Oh my god.
And you can see Taker's trying really hard not to
Oh,
laugh.
He'd always do like he'd cover his face
Yeah.
like that and get
He's like-
straight to.
Yeah, he's like, I'll tell you what, Kurt, let's go. He's fantastic.
Mhm.
He's just amazing. I don't know what it is. Like he knows how to. Do you remember when Kurt Angle like first came to WWE and like his whole thing was like they would boo him because this was like he came in November '99 when it was still the Attitude Era,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
he's doing all this like technical wrestling. People are like, what the hell
What
is
the hell is
this?
this? Is not what we paid
Yeah.
for. This is not what we want.
Yeah, and literally his debut match, he picks up the microphone. He goes, "You don't boo an Olympic gold medalist." He goes, "What's wrong with you people?"
That's
Or
something.
one of his first things was like, that he was like for abstinence. And I will never forget this segment that he goes to some university and he goes up to some couple making out. He's like, "Hi, I'm Kurt Angle, and I'm just letting you guys know that maybe you should wait." He pulls out a lollipop from his mouth. He goes, "Try sucking on that."
Oh my god.
I can see it so vividly too. That's
Yeah.
very Kurt Angle.
Oh my lord, yeah.
Oh, that's so
Oh
funny.
lord, but yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna go off the rails here, off the
Uh-oh.
list. Off script. Alright, because we've been mentioning the men. What about the female wrestlers that you really like?
Oh,
Yeah.
Best female wrestler
Yeah.
of all time? Trish Stratus. Trish Stratus has to be up there.
100%. I mean, she's still going strong to this day. She's like, I think 49, and
Yeah.
she's still athletic. She can still wrestle. Like I remember when she retired in 2006. I was like, damn, bro, like,
Dude, I had the biggest crush on her.
oh
Of
yeah,
course.
yeah, same. And
Yeah.
nobody worked as hard as she did.
No, she was definitely like the face of like, if you're a woman and you want to wrestle in WWE, that's like your role model.
Yeah, and I like if you check out her interviews, I have so much more respect for her than I already did because she mentioned how she was brought in. She used to be a fitness model,
Right.
and then she came into the WWE and she was a manager. And when they bought WCW and ECW, like, listen, we got a whole bunch of these girls coming in that are going to be managers. We want some of you girls to be wrestlers. And Trish Stratus, she said in interviews like, listen, I could be a manager all my life, but who's not to say that won't last long? They'll just grab like a Tori Wilson or whatever.
Right.
So she trained and she put in the work, man.
That Chyna, I think, is another good answer.
Chyna, God rest her soul. She was the bomb. Like, she was just so cool. Like, Chyna would come out and she would beat up on the girls. She'd beat up on the guys.
She's freaking jacked, or
Yeah. Do you remember when she used to come out with the fucking bazooka and would shoot out the fireworks?
What a badass woman. She was cool.
Yeah.
She was cool.
Still to this day is the only woman to have ever held a men's championship in WWE.
Really?
Yeah, she won the Intercontinental Championship twice.
Damn.
Oh yeah.
She's probably stronger than some of the men too.
Oh yeah, no,
she was a badass.
100%. Yeah. There was. I'll tell you a crazy ass story. Vince Russo was so big on Chyna that he had the idea to make her WWE champion.
Wow.
Yeah, he was gonna do SummerSlam of '99. It was gonna be her versus Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Damn.
And
that would have been a match.
I'm trying to picture it. I don't think I could.
And Stone Cold has a lot of respect for Chyna, but there was a lot of guys in the locker room that were like, "Oh, I'm not fucking losing to a female, whatever." And there was a lot of guys in the locker room that apparently were like, yeah, no, we can't work for this company if you guys do that shit. And
crazy.
He was like, all right, well, we'll have to do something else. And they gave her the Intercontinental belt instead. So
there's a lot of good options, but I think those are the two that like stand out the most.
Stand out. Lita is another
one.
Oh,
how can I forget about Lita? Yeah, that story between her, Edge, Matt Hardy.
Oh,
man, that was
crazy.
Absolutely
crazy.
It was like a lose situation for him.
A triple lose.
I felt so bad for Matt Hardy.
Yeah. But I will never forget when I was watching it live. I remember telling Skittie this. I'm watching, it was like an episode of Raw, and they're showing Edge and Lita backstage, and then out of nowhere, there's like this guy wailing on Edge, and I'm like, what is that, a fucking fan? And then I'm looking at the hair, and I said, oh, fuck, that's Matt Hardy. And then, like, he's getting ready for a match with Kane. Here comes Matt Hardy again, beating him up. And he picks up a microphone, he's like, he didn't even say Edge. He used his real name, Adam. He's like, Adam, I'll make your life miserable.
I think it was like, maybe they like hyped it up a little bit for the show, but I think it was like real. I think it was like a real story.
It was a legit story because, basically the story that I've always heard, I've watched documentaries and stuff, is that Matt was out with an injury in 2004, right? And then obviously Matt and Edge were good friends, and he's like, listen, I'm not going to be on the road. Can you watch over Lita and all this stuff? And
That's
Lita,
so dirty. Edge was so dirty.
And here's the more fucked up part. Edge was actually married at the time.
Shit.
Yeah.
I know that.
Oh, yeah. Edge was married. Nobody mentions that.
So it was like a love square.
It was a love square.
Yeah. And this is where they did Matt Hardy so dirty. When Matt Hardy, he came back, what do you call it? As he's recovering, Lita comes home and he notices, like, he was acting weird. He looked at her phone one day and he saw like all the messages and shit. Jeez. He goes on MySpace. You guys remember MySpace?
Yeah, wow.
and he was like, he aired out all the fucking dirty laundry, and they fired him for it.
Yeah,
Jesus.
bro.
Yeah. And then then people were like, chanting at Edge like, you screwed Matt and all this stuff.
But yeah, he did.
He
No, he screwed Lita.
Yeah, he screwed them both.
Literally screwed Lita
and Vince, because he'll do anything for the sake of ratings, was like, we're gonna re-sign Matt Hardy.
I feel like you have to. That's too big of a story. Too much money into that story. You have to bring it back.
You had to, absolutely. And let me tell you, like, I give so much kudos because, like, Edge has said in interviews, like, look, I made my bed. I had to lay in it. And
he was a bad guy. He had to like own up to being,
Edge is one of my favorite bad guys of all time.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Same. The Radar Superstar, one of the best entrances
he
too.
he
Damn.
knows how to play such a fucking slime ball.
The best heel, him and Triple H. I think those are the two heels that owned up to it the most. Shawn Michaels too.
Yeah. Oh no, absolutely. Like Shawn was such an asshole.
Yeah.
One of my favorite like Shawn moments when he was a bad guy was they were in the UK. Shawn Michaels was gonna wrestle the British Bulldog, and this one fan had a British Bulldog toy, and he's like putting it in Sean's face. Sean takes it and he put it in his trunk.
Oh my god.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
I can see that. Did he took like Canadian flag? This is from like '95 maybe. Wiped it with it.
This was at Survivor Series.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's like wiping.
He owned up to it. That's why he's one of the goats.
No, he's great. Like
Mm.
I remember. Do you remember when Shawn in 2005, like he had that feud with Hulk Hogan,
Yes.
and they made him a bad guy out of nowhere, which I thought was
Yeah.
weird. And he's in Montreal, and he's like, "Yeah, that's right. I screwed Bret, and I do it again." And then I remember watching this live, and Bret Hart's music hit, and I'm just like, "Whoa, no way!" And then after a while, you're like, "Oh, come on!" And he's like, he's got like this shit eating green. He's like, "I got your hopes up." They booed the hell out of him for that.
Yeah. Oh, I believe it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that was great. But yeah, going back to the whole Lita thing, like
Mhm.
I feel like Lita got it the worst out of all two of them because Edge was really the only one that benefited from it. Because a few months after that, he's WWE champion.
I think did they release Lita shortly after?
No, so this is what happened. Lita, after like a year or so, like she was dealing with neck issues, and she was like, "Listen, I'm gonna retire." And I don't know, WWE at the time was like super petty, and they were like, "Oh, you're gonna fucking leave us, okay?" And then they really made Lita out to be like a fucking whore or whatever.
Yeah.
And
Unfortunately, but yeah.
her last match, I remember, she loses to Mickey James, and then
Mhm.
Crime Time come out, and they're selling like all her stuff. They're like,
Wow, I forgot about Crime Time.
Yeah, Crime Time. They had like a box of her stuff, and they're like, "Yeah, we got hemorrhoid cream and her panties and shit." And I was just like, even as a kid, I was like, "Man, that's so wrong." So I'm glad that she's been able to come back and like they can make amends, and they treated her like a proper legend.
Yeah, no, she is. She's definitely a legend.
And it's great now because Lita and Trish Stratus, they've paved the way for the other women. Like let's say,
there's so many now.
We've got great women today. Like we've got the likes of Bianca Belair, Io Sky.
There's a ton. I think it's like blowing up, which is awesome to see.
Well, my favorite is Rhea Ripley.
She's a badass.
Yeah,
she is
like,
a badass.
She comes in, you look at her like total badass.
Yeah.
Like no doubt in your mind.
No, she can hang. She reminds me of like this generation China. Just how she carries herself.
Definitely.
They did it. There was some interview where they mentioned that to her. They're like, "Oh, how do you feel about being compared to China?" She's like, "I love it. Like, I think it's it's an honor for me to be compared to China."
Right.
She even wears like similar outfits like China did. Yeah, at times.
No, she's definitely badass. I can see her going up against some of the guys.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They should totally do that.
Yeah.
They should. They've always like teased it. Like I've seen her like scoop slam guys and stuff. And I think I've seen her hit like the riptide on Dominic once before.
Crazy.
And so yeah, if anyone can do it believably, there's a few women that I can believably see wrestling guys like Nia Jax.
Nia Jax, yeah.
Yeah. Like she was in the Royal Rumble that one year that she decided to show up for whatever fucking reason. Rhea Ripley's another one. I'm trying to think of some other ones too. I don't know. There's great ones out there. I love Asuka. Asuka's great.
I think it's the coolest thing is like, arguably the women's division is just as big as the men's division now.
Yeah, like there was a time where, and I'm so happy that we have progressed. Like there was a time where the women's match would come out. It's like, oh shit, this is the time for me to take a bathroom break.
Yeah.
Now it's like,
that's exciting.
Yeah, like that's the match that like, this is the match I gotta watch, man.
Right.
You know what I mean?
This is cool to see. Just like a total difference from 2000s.
Yeah, absolutely. And I pay my respects to the 4 horsewomen. As much as I don't like Charlotte, but Charlotte, Becky, Bailey, and Sasha Banks, or Mercedes Moné, whatever she wants to call herself, but they were the ones who really helped, bring women's wrestling to the main event.
And we gotta thank Triple H.
Yes, because he was the component for all that.
Yeah.
But for some reason, Stephanie likes to take all the credit, which I hate.
No, dude.
Yeah.
No, I think Triple H is doing a good job. He was my favorite wrestler growing up. I think he's a creative guy.
No,
So-
he's great. I just hate all the stuff that TKO does with
Oh my
like
god.
putting advertisement on every fucking thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because like this,
Fair.
like I think you mentioned it, like this past WrestleMania, like just so much fucking
Yeah,
ads
listen, I remember-
everywhere.
So I watched it religiously growing up, and I kind of probably when I turned 14, I stopped watching. But I watched this past WrestleMania, and I'm like, damn, all these ads. It
Yeah.
wasn't like this.
I mean, the matches were good.
The
It's
matches
just,
are good. It's like you're distracted by Skittles, Budweiser,
Yeah.
you know.
It's like,
and
oh,
then
here,
they put Wingstop.
Yeah.
yeah, it's like, all right, so we're gonna have John Cena versus Cobra, sponsored by Wingstop.
yeah. Yeah. I'm like, what the hell?
Like literally, I don't know if Skittie remembers this, but WrestleMania 39, the one they did in Hollywood, they had Rey Mysterio versus Dominic, his son, and it was sponsored by Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I was like,
It's just like so out of place.
wait,
I'm
no,
like,
wait,
guys,
it gets better.
Yeah, it gets even better.
So,
Oh, no.
so I'm like, okay, fine, it's sponsored by Cinnamon Toast Crunch, whatever. Then they had a fucking mascot
Oh no.
outside the ring, like,
Oh,
woohoo! Yeah.
like that? I don't like all the ads. It takes away from.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many ads.
Nah, what's the like sports drink? Prime.
Oh my god.
I'm like, guys, come on. We
Yeah.
don't need to see the freaking Prime mascot.
By the way, Prime tastes like shit. It
I
really
can't
does.
say I've ever had it.
It's awful. No, it's sugary dog shit.
Oh, is it really? Yeah, I've
Yeah.
never had it.
The first
It's
half-
Logan Paul. If you're hearing this,
fuck
he
him.
hates your drink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you can quote me on it. Fuck you, Logan Paul. And fuck your brother too. But no, when Skittie and I we were at the first Panthers parade, and somebody was just randomly giving out like Prime bottles, and
It was that bad, really.
yeah, like they were giving it away. I was like, fuck it, whatever, I'll try it. It was like the most sugary coconut water I've ever had.
It can't be good for you then. Is
No,
it?
it's
No.
not.
Yeah.
No, and people swear up and down. It's like, oh man, this is better than Gatorade. No, it's
No,
not.
Gatorade's the OG, but
Yeah.
Logan,
Yeah, let's be
you
real.
have a hater.
Yeah.
Oh my lord, yeah. But
Yeah.
it's funny we're talking about the women's stuff, but they actually got a pay per view tonight, which they're doing like an all female pay per view.
Oh wow, first time? Is it the first time it's all women?
This is the second time.
Second time.
Yeah. The
Damn.
first one they did it like back in 2018. So,
Okay.
but just
Interesting.
for them, it took them a couple of years to do it again. But
Right.
But
But
I think
it's-
what like also really helps, like they got like really good like women athletes, like in general.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like
Because like it
Definitely.
does make a huge like you could just like they could have just like gone like any female like okay you're gonna be a wrestler now but like no like they like scouted
Well, you
them
see that
really
they,
well,
yeah.
yeah, because
Mm.
back in the days, WWE, especially when Jim Ross was in charge of talent relations, like he really went and got like the best talent.
Mhm.
And then it went to John Laurinaitis, who's a big piece of shit. Guy was a yes man. Loved sucking Vince's ass. He was one of those yes men. He got basically models. Like it was did you notice like in the 2000s, like all the women
Oh,
were like the same,
They're
just
gorgeous.
blonde.
Stacey Keebler, or Kelly.
Yeah, Stacey Keebler, Kelly. Ooh, I found out Kelly was like fucking 19 when she started.
Really? Damn, that's
Yeah.
young.
And they were like very protective of her, like backstage. They're like,
Mm.
"Hey, you guys keep your hands off her."
Yeah, she's a kid. Everyone else is like 35. She's 19.
You remember Test, right?
Yeah.
He dated her.
What?
Yeah.
Damn, I did not know that. Tess is like another name I completely forgot about. Yeah.
Test, God rest his soul. I thought he was always cool, and I was always like wondering. I'm like, why did this guy never become main event, wrestler? I heard him talk, and I was like, oh yeah,
Yeah, it makes sense.
yeah. Like, he was supposed to be in D-Generation X years ago.
Really?
The story goes is that Vince Russo was very high on him, and he told Triple H, he's like, bro, this guy looks just like Kevin Nash, your buddy in WCW, bro, and he would be perfect for D-Generation X, bro.
Yeah.
And Triple H was like, nah, I don't think so.
Well, who was the guy going back to Triple H in different groups? Evolution. It was supposed to be, him, Ric Flair,
Randy Orton,
Randy
and
Orton, and
Mark Jindrak.
Yes.
Which,
yeah.
and I was just telling my cousin Phil, shout out to Phil.
Phil, shout out.
Yeah.
I don't know you, but you're my dog.
I was telling him the story about why they changed it. So apparently, they filmed the vignettes with like Mark Jindrak and stuff. Apparently, him and Randy Orton, they would get into some wild shit.
Damn.
And Triple H was the one I was like, we got to get rid of Mark
too
because
wild.
he's gonna ruin, because they obviously saw something in Randy.
Well, like partying, too much like wild parties between the two, or
Yes, too much wild partying.
Gotcha.
And they were like, yeah, we got to find someone else. And then, Triple H was the one that suggested Batista because Batista and Triple H used to work out together.
Right? Yeah, they're both huge, steroids, meatheads.
Yeah, no, and Batista has one of the best entrances of all time.
Oh yeah, dude, that's iconic. The
Oh, my
whole
Lord.
boom, yeah,
Yeah, no, he'd come out, he's just like flexing.
yeah.
And then, when he would do like the spine buster, and he would grab the ropes, and he would just
Oh,
like
that,
stomp.
yeah. Like I'm telling you, he stole my workouts. So,
Alright,
just putting it out there. Dave Bautista, I want him back.
I'm gonna go off the rails here again.
Oh,
off
again.
script. Oh my god,
Oof.
for the second time. Okay, so like we have like all these like wrestlers, and obviously they had families, they had kids.
Sure.
Some of these kids, now they're like some stars
Of course.
in wrestling now. Like, how do you feel about that? Like, what do you think about that? Like,
Second generation,
Yeah.
third generation wrestlers.
yeah, stuff like that.
I think it helps. Like, there are ones that have been more successful than others. Like, for example, Charlotte. As much as I don't like Charlotte, she is one of the best women's wrestlers of today. The problem is just, god damn it, they push her to the fucking moon.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
Like, okay, like
they do.
I said, like I'll always say like she's a great athlete
Yes.
and all that stuff, but
Mhm.
like
They definitely push her.
they need to
A
cool
lot.
it. And
Yeah.
like, I feel like it almost takes away from like the other women
Mhm.
wrestlers that are like just as good or even better than her.
Let
Like,
me put it this way. So Charlotte started wrestling around was like 2013, 2014, and we're in 2025. She became a 13-time women's champion in the span of just, I think it was 8 years, because that's when
That's
she
crazy.
lost her. That's when she won her last championship. Yeah,
Hmm.
it was like in 2021.
they're trying to make her like her dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They want her to be like her
Yeah.
dad. They want her to tie it for 16 times.
It's crazy. I like it. I think like the whole Orton family story. I think it's cool,
Yeah.
but like if they push her, for example, the Flares,
Mhm.
I think it takes away from the
Yeah.
cool, family business. type of
You
thing.
have to do it organically. And
Yeah.
here's the other problem with
Yeah.
Charlotte: her character sucks.
Mhm.
Like,
Character
no, like it really does.
Here's the problem. I hate your character.
Because here's the thing: whether she's a good guy or a bad guy, she does the same shit. Like,
Mm.
like at least with Randy Orton, like if he's the good guy, like he's like kind of like that, hey, whatever. But if he's the bad guy, like he's like a snake, he's like a viper.
So I love heel Randy Orton. I hate when he's
a good
a
guy.
good guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot better. You have more
Mhm.
creative freedom as a bad guy.
Yeah. And same with like I guess the opposite with John Cena. Great face, terrible heel.
Oh no, awful.
Even
This
when he
one
was
right
like in
now.
his like basketball jerseys, he was okay for some time, and then I think he was meant to be a face.
Yeah, like I know what you mean, because I remember I followed John Cena like when he first started doing the rapping thing,
Mm-hmm.
and when he was a bad guy, and like I don't know, it just came across like too vanilla ice.
He still seemed, yeah.
but
But
then
he still seemed like a face trying to be a bad guy. And then
Yeah.
he finally.
I will never forget the moment that I became a fan. He was battle rapping all people the Big Show,
Oh man.
and he says, "Forget seeing me, bro. You can't see your own penis."
The Hall of Fame line.
Yeah, and I'm just like, all right, I'm a fan. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Or what was it, like his first WrestleMania? He fought the Big Show, and he was like, he goes, "You got the franchise player on the big stage, so get that gorilla Big Show out of this cage." He's like, "Big Show beating me? That's like Gary Coleman beating Patrick Ewing in a tip-off." He has his moments, and it's really funny. And like, there was a time where like, I know people grew sick of John Cena like in 2006 or whatever, but I still like John Cena a lot.
Oh yeah.
I got sick of John Cena like around, I think it was 2010, when the shirts started getting more vibrant.
Yeah, he's still definitely top 10 all time.
Yeah.
Oh no, absolutely.
I don't think he's the GOAT. A lot of people think he's the GOAT.
No, they want
Agreed.
to.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's just like recent bias that they're like,
Yeah,
he's
for
the
sure.
GOAT, and he's absolutely not. I
He's
mean, look,
probably even like top 5 arguably, but I don't think he's the GOAT.
Yeah, you
per
could
se.
argue top 5, but not like number 1 or
No.
anything like that.
No.
hell, for me, I'd probably, I don't know, we'll have to do that list someday, but I would probably say like
episode part 2 will be the
Yeah.
list.
Yeah, for sure. Top 15 for me. You know what I mean? I don't know, but one thing I love about John Cena is that he's very dedicated,
Mhm.
and so many years like he could have chose to switch to be a bad guy, but he didn't.
Right.
I think that was more so Vince just like knowing like he can't
That's
be
your
a bad
character.
What do you guys feel about Dominic Mysterio?
So that's I don't watch too often now, but like from the little parts that I've seen, I think he's a good heel. He knows how to like work up a crowd. He knows how to make people not
You
like
know
him.
what? Like every time he's on the screen, like he
Mhm.
pisses me off.
And that's his job. He does his job.
no,
And
like,
that's how,
like great. Like that was a great idea actually. Because like I just look, I'm like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
he comes out and he gets the loudest boos out of anyone else.
Yeah, so like a heel for him is working amazing for him.
No,
Yeah,
and he's
yeah.
got like this, the shithead mustache.
Mhm.
He's got that mop like Eddie Guerrero.
Right.
When, like in 2000, like he looks great.
He embraces it. From little I've seen, I think he's doing one hell of a job.
And it's amazing because I was literally just telling Skittie and her mom and her brother about this last night, but I remember when I first saw Dominic, he was like a chubby cheeked kid.
Yeah.
And he was
Back
blonde.
with the Who's My Father, that whole story.
Yeah. They fought in a ladder match for the custody of the child.
What a crazy story.
That was fucking nuts. And at one point, like Eddie Guerrero's like about to grab the briefcase, and he comes to the ring. He comes and he tries to shake the ladder, and Eddie comes down. He's like, "What are you doing?"
Crazy, absolutely crazy story.
No,
but now it's full circle.
And that's Ray's favorite match.
Yeah.
He said in interviews, he's like, "That's my favorite match of all time."
Yeah, man. Well, they were like brother. They were close friends, best friends.
Yeah. Which
sad stuff.
I think this is super cool that like Eddie's unfortunately, his untimely death, but the last year of his career, he got to work with his best friends. He worked with Ray. He worked with Chris Benoit at that ECW One Night Stand pay-per-view.
Right.
He did the extensive, Ray rivalry. Mm-hmm. And then his last big rivalry was with Batista.
Which is like awesome. It was awesome stuff. Just unfortunate. Because he was going down the path of being one of the best of all time.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
They were working, like the original plan that they had was at WrestleMania 22, it was going to be him versus Shawn Michaels.
Oh, that would have been huge.
Yeah, it would have been fantastic. Huge. And I remember, like, I would go to my grandparents' house and I'd go on the computer, like go to www.com just to see what happened.
Instead of Disney.com?
Yeah, as opposed to DisneyChannel.com. Can we talk about anyway? So I go on, and I remember one day, I look up the like breaking news, and it said like, "Hey, girl passed away." I was like, "Wait, what?"
Crazy.
And I'm thinking like, "Oh, this
can't be real."
Yeah, this is probably like some storyline or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then I remember when they tuned in, and they had all the wrestlers on the stage, and I was like, "Oh shit, this is
real."
Yeah.
Real life.
No, it was. Oh my god! Like you saw, I remember seeing Chavo. He had tears in his eyes. Chris Benoit was a mess. I remember.
It would have been awesome to see Eddie Guerrero over Shawn Michaels. They're like the same person, just like different font.
Yeah, no, cool. And Shawn has said in interviews that like him and Eddie, like they never really spoke, but when they did speak to each other, they would talk about, because both of these guys were born again Christians, so they would talk about God and stuff, and they got really close with each other.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Shawn mentioned it years ago, but I mean, there's always a positive that comes out of these things, because had it not been for Eddie's death, Ray would have never won the World Heavyweight title.
Right.
So at least there was that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Which apparently Vince did not want to do, because Vince didn't like Ray.
Which is like so crazy. Ray's like a smaller guy, but like fan favorite. Everyone loved him.
The thing is that Vince looks at Ray and he's like, "Oh God, pal, he's so tiny. How can he be world champion?" And everyone backstage was like, "No, this guy's got to be world champion." Vince.
Yeah, everyone. He's a freaking crowd pleaser. Everyone literally loved him.
And Vince was like, "All right, God damn it!" And they made him champion, and they made him the worst champion because he lost to everybody.
Yeah.
But
he's one of the most underrated. I think Rey Mysterio is one of my favorites growing up too.
Ray was so awesome. Like, it's amazing that like he's like 50-something years old and he's still doing the same moves, if not better, than when I watched him. Like, when I was a kid in WCW.
I would say his 619 is so much better than his son's.
Mm-hmm.
So much better.
Well, I think it's better for Ray because he's smaller, so he can move faster.
Actually swing through,
Whereas Dominic's like,
just too big to get between the ropes smoothly.
Dominic definitely has a better frog splash than his father.
Yeah. Rob Van Dam had one hell of a frog splash.
Oh, well, that's why they call it the 5-star frog splash. Because he got hang time.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
He went up, the full motion.
Yeah, no. Van Dam was like so cool. Like, I remember when they first put him in a WWE video game, and he was like the most played character because people loved him. Like, he's
just flying around with the kicks and everything.
And it's funny because I knew who Van Dam was because I used to watch ECW. Like, ironically, towards the end of ECW's time, and I remember watching Van Dam do all this stuff. Like, he would throw the chair, and he would kick it in your face.
Yeah,
he
like
would jump
karate.
from one thing to another and hit
Mhm.
you. Like I was like, holy shit! This
But he
guy's-
never got like the bump that I think he deserved in WWE.
Well, the reason
Yeah.
for that, first and foremost, so in 2002, like they were gonna make him world heavyweight champion apparently because Vince loved Van Damme a lot.
Huh.
Because Vince likes guys that like take no shit from anybody,
Right.
and Van Damme is like that.
Yeah.
As laid back as he is, and Triple H was like, "Oh no, they're gonna take the belt off me."
Dude,
He
that was
was
cool to see.
Yeah, so he apparently went. The story. This is what Van Damme said.
Mhm.
He went up to Van Damme and was like, "Hey, Van Damme, you gotta work on your promo skills. I could help you out."
Mhm.
And Van Damme was like, "Thanks, dude, but I don't need your help."
Oh shit.
And Triple H, I guess, took it personally, and Triple H went to the higher ups. Was like, "Yeah, this guy doesn't want to play ball,"
Mm.
and they
Damn.
didn't make him world champion for a long time. And then finally, when they do make him world champion in 2006,
Mhm.
he gets busted for fucking pot.
Yeah. That man was such a stoner too. It's like, fuck.
Yeah.
You finally made
But
it.
you know what it was? It wasn't so much that he got busted for weed. It was
Mm.
more so that he was also caught with like controlled substances.
Fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just crappy timing. But
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Vince, I don't know, Vince is weird with certain guys, but it was like, this was your one and only chance, pal.
Jeff Hardy too. Up and down.
Well, Jeff got so many opportunities.
Yeah.
My God.
Yeah.
Which I think he said recently he's been like 2.5 years sober, thank God.
Good. Yeah. He was always like freaking electric. The entrance, the little dance.
Yeah.
This freaking what was his finisher?
The Swanton Bomb.
Yes.
That's a rough fucking move
Yeah.
to take
I
every
remember
night.
jumping it, doing that in like pools. I'm like, yo, this kind of hurts. I can't imagine.
Yeah.
Like another
doing on
human.
top of bodies.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Alright, fellas. Mainly because my phone's about to die. Alright. Top 3 wrestlers go.
Top 3 wrestlers all time.
Like our favorite wrestlers of all time?
Let's just say let's do a random era, 90s.
90s? Okay.
Our favorites or like objectively?
Your favorites.
Our
Okay,
favorites.
alright. That's fair.
To end it, duh.
I'll let you go, Mr. Host. You got
Okay.
it.
So number one is easy for me. That would be Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah.
Stone Cold Steve Austin was the whole reason I got into wrestling. So that one's easy for me. Number 2 might surprise some people, but I've always said this to people. When I was a kid, because I was so small, I always looked up to the big guys. So number 2 is Kevin Nash.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I don't know. There was something about Kevin Nash that I saw him with like his blonde hair and shit, and how he was just so cool. He had the nickname Big Sexy. I was like, damn, that's so cool. Plus, he had a hell of a power bomb. So, number 3, I'd pick the Undertaker. Yeah,
That's a healthy list. I'm gonna.
Healthy list.
It's a healthy list.
Actually, hold on. Number 2 is the Undertaker. Number 3 would be Kevin Nash.
Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
So I feel like definitely Stone Cold
Okay,
for obvious reasons. And I think if you have Stone Cold on your list, you have to have The Rock on your list.
that's fair.
Fair.
Stone Cold, The Rock. And then here it gets like tricky.
Okay.
You have The Undertaker, you have Shawn Michaels, you have Triple H, you have all these guys. So 3 is hard. But I'm a Triple H guy.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm a Triple H guy.
that's
Alright.
fair.
Oh, that's funny. 3 and H's number 3.
Ah, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Alright,
sure.
this has been one of probably many debates
do
that
it.
we'll have. So yeah.
It was awesome. A lot of fun.
Yeah, that's great.
For the people back home, let me know what you guys think. Do you have anything different from their list or any of the topics that we discussed today? So yeah.
Or if you agree 100% with me.
Oh my god.
We'll take that.
Yeah, who has the more compelling argument?
Yeah. For
It was
sure.
awesome though. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah.
Alright, and then I am Skittie, which I was the moderator today.
This is Dylan Shaffer. I'm MC Ragoonan, and that's the bottom line because no latex needed said so.
Alright, see you in the next one, y'all.
As you can see, I got a special guest with me tonight. This is right here is Dylan.
Let's restart that.
Let's just restart it.
Yeah.